Hey guys, welcome to another weekly draft video here on the Needs Magic channel. I am drafting some shadows over Innistrad, so I'll go ahead and get in the queue. Before the draft starts, I do want to remind you guys that I have started a Patreon campaign, and if you enjoy the content I've been producing and want to help me make it better, you can help me out by donating there. The link for Patreon is in the description for this video. Anyway, I'll be back with you guys when the draft begins. All right. Well, we got Engulf the Shore, which I don't think I want. Gyre Reach Bandit is interesting. So far, I've drafted this format only 3 times because I've had to rush to get some other content done for you, like the Commander on a budget deck. But every time I've drafted, blue's been super open, so I've gone 3-0 once with blue-white, which I recorded last week, once with blue-black, and I 2-1'd once with blue-black as well. So I'd kind of like to avoid those if I can help it. But I shouldn't force that on myself, certainly. This pack, though, does not really have any great removal. I mean, Moonlight Hunt is good if you have a bunch of werewolves, so we're probably not taking removal. Cards here that I'm considering are Gyre Reach Bandit, who is quite good. You know, 3-mana 3/2 who auto transforms all your werewolves is nice. And I don't really think there's another card worth considering on that same level. Engulf the Shore really asks a lot of you for it to be good. You have to not have very many creatures. I like Crow of Dark Tidings. I like Wildfield Scarecrow. I like Niblis of Dusk. But I think Gyre Reach Bandit just has a higher power level. Plus it's foil, so we're going to go for that. Forgotten Creation is kind of nuts, I have to say. You can definitely draw a lot of cards with it. I'm considering taking that. There is also a Deadweight and a Sleep Paralysis, both of which are quite good removal spells. So it's either the Forgotten Creation, the Deadweight, or the Sleep Paralysis. I mean, Forgotten Creation is awesome because you can just start dumping your lands in the later game and ripping through your deck. It works well with Delirium. It works well with Madness. It does all those things. There's also a Rabid Bite, though. And if I really want to have the most success with a werewolf deck, maybe I should just go for that. Forgotten Creation's tempting, but I like this. I think I'm going to go with Rabid Bite. I mean, there's a lot of good removal in this pack between the Deadweight, the Rabid Bite, and the Sleep Paralysis, plus there's a Forgotten Creation. I'm not really sure what the first person who drafted out of this pack could have gotten. But yeah, I'll go for Rabid Bite here. I mean, I could definitely see an argument to have not gone the route I did, but I'm kind of a little bit forcing wanting to do something that isn't blue, so I think we take Lambholt Pacifist here. It's pretty strong. It's a good blocker, and then it transforms into a good attacker. What else do we have here? Insolent Neonate would be good if we could get the vampire thing rolling. Yeah, I mean, Watcher in the Webs I wouldn't mind wheeling, but yeah, we'll take the Pacifist. We do want werewolves when we have Gyre Reach Bandit. Okay, well, there's a pretty late Sleep Paralysis. There's also a Gatstaff Arsonists, which is a pretty good creature, pretty good common. But seeing a late Sleep Paralysis, blue is just like always open. I don't really understand why. It's seemed that way to me so far. And Crow Dark Tidings is like perpetually underrated too in the drafts I've done so far, because it is really good. I mean, it sets up it's 3 mana for 2/1 flyer, which is already solid, and it doesn't have a real drawback. It actually helps you get to Delirium, helps you do your other graveyard things. I mean, anyway. So it's either the Arsonist or Sleep Paralysis. And I'm leaning towards the Arsonists. Kind of forcing a werewolf deck, like I said. I just want to actually experience that, and we're getting it given to us. Hermit of the Natternulls is quite good. Gibbering Fiend's also good. I wouldn't mind if that managed to wheel. But we're probably going to end up with like this Dire Swine or something, which is fine. But we'll take our Hermit. So if that Werewolf Fight card comes back to us, we're going to be pretty happy about that. Okay, so here I think we just take Geist Blast. In our deck, it's mostly going to be removal, but we could splash blue if we want to actually be able to use the other ability, but it's a solid removal spell. It's definitely not exciting, but I don't like Might Beyond Reason a whole lot. It's fine, but I do like Pyre Hound, but not in this deck, so Geist Blast it is. Okay. So I could take this and play it just so I can occasionally Geist Blast. I could also take a Tormenting Voice, which will set me up for Madness stuff, which, you know, these colors do have. Actually, does green have anything with Madness? I know red does, but Just also helps me draw cards, which is nice. It's either a voice or a card that helps me splash blue potentially, just for my Geist Blast. Or if it's open enough, I guess I can splash the enchantment that I keep seeing. Yeah, I'm going to take the card that'll help me splash. Okay. Here, we're not seeing much of what we want. I don't think we want Magnifying Glass. Rush of Adrenaline, I mean, our deck is going to try to be aggressive, and that's not a bad card. I think it's what I'll take here. It's a pretty efficient combat trick. All right, Convicted Killer is a pretty mediocre werewolf, I have to say, but I think I'll take it. It does, you know, transform and stuff, and I think it's what I'll take. I mean, I could take Stoic Builder, which is just a 3-mana 2/3, but I think Convicted Killer has more upside. I could also take this combat trick, but I think we need some more creatures. So maybe we'll get to copy a Rabid Bite rather, with our Geist Blast from our graveyard. I don't know. So yeah, neither of these colors have I played yet, so I'm kind of glad to be doing something different. Oh, I did forget to mention that the winner of the 1K giveaway is actually winning all the cards I draft. So I'll also be taking that into consideration if we ever see any big money cards, which we haven't yet. Don't mind this late Reduced to Ashes. Confront the Unknown's also good, but you know, just having a top of the curve removal spell is fine. Plus, it does have some synergy with Geist Blast. You know, if we have 8 mana lying around. So yeah, that's what I'll take here. I guess we'll put this over there so it doesn't look like we have more playables than we do. But I'm pretty happy with all the card that I like the least that we have is Convicted Killer, I think. All right, we'll take this Neonate. I don't really see us playing it, but who knows? If we end up with enough sources of enough madness cards, like let's say we pick up 2 or 3, another one. So I guess I'll take a Groundkeeper. Maybe we end up wanting to play it for some reason, but I doubt it. Yeah, I'll take a Hulking Devil. I mean, I guess I'll stick it in my deck for now, but hopefully I don't have to play that. Vessel Volatility is bad. I'll let somebody else have it and take a land. All right, so I'm not sure green's open enough. If it's not, I mean, we can transition relatively easily from being like a werewolf type deck. I mean, we'll still have werewolves in it. We already have 3, you know, but definitely not going to have as many. And if blue continues to be as open as it looks, I may just move into blue-red or something like that. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Confirm Suspicions. All right. Not really what we're looking for as a rare. Angelic Purge is really good, though. Yeah, our colors in this pack are pretty weak. The 2 green cards. This one's a sideboard card. Equestrian Skill is basically unplayable. And then the red cards are like, you know, Malevolent Whispers is solid, Tormenting Voice is solid, Embry Wolf is, I also think, fairly unplayable. I'm not a big fan of it. So that's a little disappointing. I don't really want to take Tormenting Voice or Malevolent Whispers with my first pick. I do have one way of at instant speed doing this, but I'm kind of leaning towards just taking Angelic Purge. I mean, we could move red-white. It's just, you know, an aggressive aggro deck. It doesn't really have any real synergies. It just beats face. And I think I will take the Purge here since our other options are so bad. Another Invocation of Saint Traft. Okay, well, Graph Mole is not bad as far as green cards go. We also have Neglected Heirloom, which would be good in our deck if we have as many transform things going on as we think. Here, white is basically non-existent, and we actually have several good green cards. Well, two good green cards. So, do I want a Gloom Widow or a Graph Mole? Probably the Widow, I think. I mean, our deck, I think, will be on the more aggressive end. We don't have a whole lot of 2-drops yet, although that's a 2-drop. Should we actually end up being able to keep green, but... I mean, a Neglected Heirloom is also worth considering, but I think I'll take the Gloom Widow here. Cut it, at least. You know, it might make someone think green's open enough that they should get in it, too, if I leave Gloom Widow. I mean, Graph Mole's good in any green deck, but great only in the blue-green deck. So I think I'll take this Gloom Widow. Okay, well, We have Bound by Moon, Silver, and Lightning Axe, and Kessig Forge Master, and another Angelic Purge. I think I just have to take Lightning Axe, though. It's too good. Too good of a removal spell not to. I would not mind getting that thing back at all, but doesn't seem super likely. Bound by Moon Silver is better than Lightning Axe. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not as committed to white as I am to red, and so that gives this a little bit of an edge, I think, over the Bound by Moon Silver. But yeah, we're gonna take the axe here. Okay, Harvest Hand isn't bad in our deck because we do have... Oh, but there's an Inner Struggle. I think that's a good enough removal spell to take here. It doesn't kill everything, but it kills a lot of things. Harvest Hand, I mean, we do have a lot of humans, so that's nice. It transforms into equipment. I wouldn't mind getting one later, but I think I'm just going to take Inner Struggle here. So red, I think, seems pretty open, and there's a Reduce to Ashes. Okay, I could... splash white too, I guess, for Veteran Cathar, but oh, there's a Rabid Bite, so I'll just take that. It's kind of confusing. I haven't seen a lot of good green creatures, but this is a really late Rabid Bite, so that's what I'll be taking. Okay, there's the Vampire payoff card, but we don't really want that. This pack is kind of bad for us. I may just take True Faith Sensor. It does help a lot of our creatures until they transform, at least. Town Gossipmonger, of course, is not bad, but you don't really want to be running a white 1-drop if you're just splashing white like we are. I mean, Griff Spoon's a little better than them, but I think I'm just going to take the Censor. There's not a great chance it makes our deck, but it's, the cards in our colors aren't very good, so. If I hadn't seen these two Rabid Bites, I would have thought green was gone, but maybe people are underrating Rabid Bite? I don't know. We definitely need to pick up some 2-drops in the last pack, I can tell you that. So, I mean, we have good removal without Angelic Purge. So I think just sort of splashing blue, just on the off chance we get to do Geist Blast stuff, is probably all we'll do. So, and the cards I'm not convinced I'm running are True Face Sensor. And, okay, do I want another Reduce to Ashes? I mean, it is really high curve removal. Oh, Hulking Devil I'm probably not running. Dual Shot's an okay sideboard card. I mean, it's just weird that we've gotten as many, like a late Rabid Bite, and then we don't see any good green cards. I'm not really sure what's going on there. I mean, Reduce to Ashes is fine. I mean, you don't usually want to be running more than one, but we might. Dual Shot is an okay sideboard card. I mean, I guess I'm going to take Reduce here. Don't really like... I mean, none of these cards make me want to do anything else. Cathar's Companion's probably the best... would be the best for us. Okay, Crawling. Oh, there we go. We needed 2-drops and we got one. Yeah, we're not the deck for that. I do want to draft one of those someday. But yeah, I'm just going to grab this Quilled Wolf. 2-drop, who's relevant later. Happens to also be a wolf. Sounds good to me. Okay, I think now I do take Tormenting Voice. We don't have any Madness, but it helps you dig. I could take Malevolent Whispers. That plus Lightning Axe could be a pretty big blowout, but... I think I'd rather have Tormenting Voice at this point. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I would. All right. I mean, we actually don't have a huge number of creatures, so it's kind of like we really need creatures if we want to be running these combat tricks. Could run Explosive Apparatus, but we don't really look like we're going to want Delirium desperately. I mean, we could still pick up something that makes us want it, but I think we can get there without running something like Apparatus. I mean, I'll take this Fury. Don't know if I'll play it. Okay, well, I am going to grab Spiteful Motives here. It is a card that I had on my list of auras that I don't think you should play, and it turns out it is better than that. I don't think it's a lot better than that, though. The ability, basically it's a combat trick that permanently pumps a guy, which is cool, but you can only play it if your opponent doesn't have mana, but it is a solid card. I mean, I guess I'll take another Neonate. I really don't want to have to take the 2-mana 1/2 Ember Eye Wolves, but we might have to fill out our 2-drop slot. I mean, if there's a vampire deck, I don't really want to have to deal with that. And that is a perfectly playable card, I think, so I'll take it from someone. All right, so we'd actually need more creatures. I think that's what we need most of all. We haven't really picked up a werewolf since the early going. Ooh, that's worth a lot of money for pancake toppings. So I'm probably going to take that with that in mind. Let me check how much it's worth real quick. There's so many good cards in this pack for us that it kind of hurts me to do it, but I would have done it anyway, even if I were just drafting for myself. Oh, actually, she's plummeted to 4 tickets, but I mean, she was super expensive for a while there. I'll probably still pick her up. I mean, we could even try to splash her, I guess. Wouldn't be a bad thing. But yeah, Dance with Devils, Pack Guardian, and Valderan Duelist are all things I wouldn't mind having. But we're gonna take Olivia here, and maybe we splash her. We'd probably need to pick up like a dual land and some other stuff, but it could happen. You know, when one drafts, it's a good idea to get cards. Ooh, there we go. That's the kind of 2-drop we wanted. So I'm happy to get that. But what I say is, you know, money drafting is helpful because it makes it so you can continue to draft cheaper, and continuing to draft makes you better at drafting. So I think drafting cards that are worth, you know, 4+ tickets is usually a good idea. But yeah, we're gonna take Duskwatch here. He's ridiculous. I think it's either him or Bound by Moonsilver, who's the best uncommon in the set, in my opinion. And yeah, so Duskwatch Recruiter. Okay, we get another Lambhold Pacifist. We also have a Traverse, which can help us splash. But I think going into trying to splash for Olivia is probably wishful thinking, and we should probably just take another great 2-drop. And it's also a werewolf, so our Gyre Reach Bandit won't mind them. Yeah, so I'll take the Lambhold Pacifist. We haven't actually gotten a lot of werewolf synergies, which is kind of sad, but we have some. Could pick up another Geist Blast, but in terms of removal, we have 2 Rabid Bites, 2 Reduced to Ashes, and another Geist Blast. I mean, I don't think Geist Blast is good enough removal that I want to take it here over like a Byway Courier or a Solitary Hunter. Solitary Hunter is pretty good. Byway Courier is also quite good, but I think I'm going to go with the Hunter here. This one is not a werewolf I'm a huge fan of, but this one's not bad. It's quite good, really. I mean, especially because we have several wolves and werewolves. So he's a 3-mana 3/3, which is pretty legit, and we'll take him. Yeah. Don't really want like Fork in the Road, just help me splash blue. I mean, I'm probably honestly just going to run the one Woodland Stream, because Geist Blast doesn't need to be able to be flashed back to be a solid card. It just gets to be a good card if you can. But yeah, we'll take the Howlpack Wolf here. Don't like Senseless Rage. There's a Vessel of Nascency, which is fine, but we have no motivation to get Delirium whatsoever. There's, again, a pretty late Crow of Dark Tidings. I had a deck, a blue-black zombie deck that I didn't post, that had 4 Crow of Dark Tidings and Diregraph Colossus. That was a pretty big monster. It was. I posted the video, the deck on Twitter, and it was pretty sweet. But I mean, I'm guessing I'm going to take the Vessel. I could like hate on someone's Inquisitor's Ox or something, but I'll take the Vessel. Maybe I'll want it. Okay, well, here's some motivation to get Delirium, and it's a fine card. There's also Skin Invasion, which is a card that I've wanted to play with, and I think in a deck like this one, it gets a little bit better. I can force my opponents, like Dirtily guys, to attack into like my 2/2, and I have, you know, 2 3/3 blockers. And then it's basically a removal spell that gives me a 3/4, so I want to give it a try. It's a card that is hard to evaluate. I could take the Scavenger, who's always going to be a 2-mana 0/4 at least, and can help us do even more than that. I don't think we're playing you, Insolent Neonate. But I think I'm going to try out Skin Invasion. I mean, I know what the Scavenger does. It's still early in the format, so I'd like to try out this Skin Invasion. Dissension in the Ranks is a card that looks sweet that isn't, and I don't want a second Spiteful Motives. I think 1 is enough for me. I mean, I could take a Dire Swine to have a Curve Topper, but I don't really know that this deck really needs anything like that. So maybe I do take Spiteful Motives. I can at least side it in against some people who have like no removal and feel pretty good about it. So I'm not going to mainboard 2, but I'll take another one. Hey, this should not have come back. That's pretty sweet for us. There were lots of cards in that opening pack we wanted and one wheeled. This thing is sort of like Pyroclasm. I mean, it's an exaggerate, not Pyroclasm. What is it called? Pyrotechnics, 5 mana to do 4 divided. This does 4 divided for 4. I mean, obviously, it doesn't get divided as freely, but we definitely want to take Dance with Devils. Okay, so I mean, Sanguinary Mage is a 2-drop. Is it one I'm going to play? I'm not sure. I would side it in against a lot of 2/1s though, and I think I like it more than Blood Mad Vampire. Although Blood Mad Vampire plus Spiteful Motives is a frightening thing. And he's good with Rabid Bite too, isn't he? You know? And he's good with Lambholt pacifists. Yeah, let's take this vampire. Seems like he has more synergy going on. Okay, confront the unknown. Sure. Don't know if I'm going to play it. This is a good card that really shouldn't still be here. He's, in most decks that have white, they can get Delirium easily, and he's a 3/5 with Vigilance for like ever. I'm going to take Essence Flux. And I'll let someone have Creeping Dread. All right, well, I think our deck kind of came together. I mean, we didn't end up with a huge number of werewolf payoffs other than our first pick. But, I mean, the good thing about the werewolves in this set is they're all good anyway. So, taking a bunch of them wasn't necessarily a bad idea. And we got some sweet removal. We're probably going to get to be able to cut at least one Reduced to Ashes, which is good, I think, because it's kind of clunky removal. It's sorcery speed. I think we probably only want one of those. We may not even want Rush of Adrenaline or Confront the Unknown now. I mean, they're both fine, but I don't know. We're definitely gonna have to trim some stuff. I'm waiting. It's being very slow to take me. Here we go. There it is. Okay, so we need to cut 4 cards. Or no, not 4. Too much. Oath of the Gatewatch. We probably only need to cut 3 cards. So we're gonna group creatures separately. We actually only ended up with 12 creatures. So yeah, our combat tricks are not going to be especially good. So I think we probably want to lose Confront the Unknown and Rush of Adrenaline. I mean, Skin Invasion is sort of a creature. Dances with Devils is sort of a creature, but it's not especially good. It may even be worth, now that I've sort of looked at how few creatures I ended up with, although they're, at pretty nice spots on the curve. I may even want to cut Spiteful Motives. It is worth considering, certainly. We do want to cut Encaged Fury. I think just cutting the less good combat tricks other than Spiteful Motives is probably what we want to do. I don't think I want True Faith Censor, though. Do I want Tormenting Voice? I didn't end up with a single card with Madness, but it is still a pretty good way in the late game to draw a couple cards. It is annoying to draw early, but I think we hold on to it. So we need to think of a 23rd card. I wouldn't mind it being a creature, but I don't want it to be Hulking Devil. I kind of wish I had just picked up an Ember Eye Wolf, even though I don't like the card very much, just because it would be nicer on our curve. I mean, I could just run the Censor, but again, we don't have a huge number of creatures, and the ones we do have, only, most of them are human, not all of them. I mean, I could just run another Reduced to Ashes, but that doesn't seem very good. I'll probably just run a Rush of Adrenaline. I feel like, it's cheap enough, and it's going to be good enough with our, transformed werewolves that we're going to have a pretty good time with it. So I think that's where we go. I'm kind of disappointed we only ended up with 12 creatures. It's not exactly where we want to be, but the reason we're there is because we have a ton of good removal too. So we have, the nice thing about werewolves is we have these low curve dirtily guys who then turn into monsters in the later game and can just help me win the game. So I think that's what we're going to go with. So again, the winner of the 1K giveaway, Pancake Toppings, will be winning all of these cards, these up here as well, including Olivia, and whatever packs I win in this draft. So I need to add lands. I was about to be done recording, I thought, but I'm not. So it's interesting. Most of our removal's red, and most of our creatures are green. We definitely want something close to half and half, not quite as extreme as it's showing us. I think it's more like 9-8, and I think that's fine. I think that's where we want to be. All right, this is the deck. I'll play a few matches with it now. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.